Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have a very lovely guest here tonight, and I'm happy to have her for the very first time live on my show, Skull Talk Live. So let me bring her in.
Aloha.
Welcome, Royal Hawaiian from the legendary show Glow. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Long time no see. What it was, 24 hours, 48 hours ago?
Yeah,
Yeah. So how are you?
doing very good. Getting ready for the busy weekend that we have coming up
Yes,
in
tomorrow.
Corona, California.
Yep. So I got to get some rest tonight. So no going out and partying tonight because we got to get up early and head to Corona in the morning. So it should be a fun time tomorrow. Hopefully we get good reception.
And this is from the Bad Guy Show. He said, I thought I recognized that countdown. The bald guy.
Hey, it's JC. How are you?
All
Hi.
right, Jesse.
I didn't know I can see them, but I'm gonna have to keep putting my glasses on and off because I can't read that small. Yeah. So hopefully you get
And
some.
I guess another person wants to say hello, Mr. Big Bass Timberwolf, that you'll be on his show pretty soon as well.
Yes, I believe. Oh, you know what? I don't know what day, but we'll have to jot that down. I'll have to look through my calendar. I think it's next week, isn't it? I got another podcast next week,
I
so I'll be
believe
on.
so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so I'd have to look and see what day it is. But yeah, it's getting pretty busy. So we'll see. I just got done with the Bald Guy show last week, and it will drop tomorrow or tomorrow. It's tomorrow. So you guys tune in for that. Be on. He'll upload that tomorrow, I believe, after 10 o'clock. So if you guys want, check that out. That will be out tomorrow. We will be out and about. So we'll go live tomorrow too. So we'll let you see where we're at tomorrow all day. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
So if you guys have any questions you guys want to ask, please post them in the comment, and I will post it and ask April those questions. So,
Okay, guys.
April, let's talk about the show going on tomorrow in Corona.
Yes, so tomorrow we will be with 3PWA with Tony Reyes, and that will be D'Lo Brown, Vito Fratelli, and it's going to be at the UFC gym in Corona. That's off of McKinley and the 91 freeway. But in the early part of the day, we will be at, they're having a vendor market, kind of a open market kind of fair there in the daytime. So we'll be there from 9 to 5 tomorrow. So you can come on out. Tony Reyes and 3PW will be 3PW Alliance will be there set up. You can come and buy your tickets for the show if you don't have them already. And then me and my entourage, Skull will be there, Juan will be there, George will be there. I'll have a full crew there, and I'll set up my merch table. You guys can come by, get autographs and pictures, new merch, the new T-shirt. If you can see me, my new T-shirt. Thank you, Frank. Frankster rules. So come on out. We got lots of new stuff, and it'll be a great show tomorrow night. Got Lois Rain, and everybody else. So just come on out, check out my page. I got the flyers and stuff there. So I'll repost again when we're off here, just to give you guys all the details.
And also, one of your favorite guys also going to be there. We can't
Yes,
forget about AJ Mania.
Mana will be there. So come on out and see the Samoan shooter. We will be out there cheering him on. And I don't know all who else is on the card. I know.
We got Jordan Clearwater.
Yes, that's right, Jordan Clearwater, and I don't know who is Lois wrestling. Do you know?
I know Jordan Clearwater. He
It's
may come out of San Diego area.
It's Scarlett. Scarlett, I think, is who she's. wrestling, I believe. Let me just look. But anyway,
And we
yeah.
got I think Savannah.
Uh,
Um,
really? Is she? I don't know, but I
not
thought
Savannah.
I
The
thought
Rose Girl.
I think it's Scarlet. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Scarlet Rose. That's her name.
so you guys, you can check it out and see who's all going to be on there. I just got so much going on, you guys. I just I don't know
I
if I'm
know
I don't know if I'm
total of 6
going.
matches.
What?
We have a total of 6 matches on that card.
Okay, so I think it is. I'm looking at Lois Grain. It doesn't. I know I saw one that showed who she was wrestling. Let me just see. Okay. Oh, Robbie Phoenix is going to be there tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that one.
Tony Reyes, and then Ron Kilborn. Of course, Lois Grain I already said, but I
That's
think.
making his debut.
Oh, really? Oh, American, obviously.
Ron will be making his debut.
Who is?
Ron Kilborn.
Oh, okay.
He'll be making his 3PAA debut.
Okay, well, for some reason, I can't see. I know I just saw them post something with who was going to be on, who's wrestling Lois, but I don't see it. And I want to say Scarlet, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me, but I'll look at the thing afterwards and make sure we post it. I think it's Scarlet, but we'll see. Anyway, it's going to be a good show tomorrow, full day of fun. So if you're available, come on out and see me tomorrow. It says he will be reposting the t-shirt as well. Thank you, JC. I appreciate it. And there is a print like this. So you get the shirt, I autograph you a print. So check it out. And shirts available from small to extra large are $25, $10 shipping within the US. I can ship it international, but the shipping international obviously is much more expensive. 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X. I can do all of that. Right now, I think I have up to 4X, and those are $30. And then, of course, the same $10 shipping. And if you want anything special ordered, I can do that as well. And I finally, for those of you that keep asking me, I am working on a website so that you don't have to always just contact me. It can always be done through there. So I'm working on it, guys.
It didn't work, folks.
It's in the works, little by little. Sorry, I've been on my 6-month medical hiatus, so things are moving. There's quite a bit of action going on and a lot of projects in the works. So just keep your eyes and ears open, and we'll keep you up to date on what's coming up. But while I'm thinking about it, because I always forget, don't forget, you guys don't want to miss. Roxy Astor and Robert Wynn are producing the Matilda the Hun Raw Meat docuplay on stage at the Zephyr Theater, and that's July 27th, 28th, 29th. Let me just check the dates because I'm always, no, 26th, 27th, 28th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I will be there all 3 days. So come on out. There will be merch and a lot of Matilda's stuff on display. So please do make it out if you can. And I would suggest to get on that website and get tickets soon because from what I understand, it's getting booked. It's a small, quaint theater. So don't miss it because it's only those 3 days.
Yeah,
So,
get your ticket while they last.
what's that?
I said, pretty much get your ticket while they last.
Because it's
Once they get closer, that means the less of the tickets they are.
well, it could be sold out soon, and it's still not even June, so we still got 2 months, and it might be getting. From what I understand, Friday is getting booked and Saturday. So Sunday obviously is usually the last day to sell out because it's the Sunday. But just try and get tickets whenever you can. Try and get those booked now. And so there should be, several of us Go Girls are going to be there, of course. I just don't know who. So, but check it out. Kate, what's your next?
So yeah, let's talk about your involvement with Glow. How did that all start for you?
How did it all start for me? Well, so back in the day, um, I was an athlete. I was a tomboy. I grew up between my two brothers. I was the first girl to be involved in boys little league baseball in the San Gabriel Valley and here in Southern Cal. And then my mom wanted to make sure I was a girly girl, so she put me in dance lessons at the age of 5, and that's where I started my entertainment part of my life at the age of 5, dancing flamenco dancing in East LA in the city of Boyle Heights, which is where I also help out Patrick J. Martinez and co-host Ham Radio at the Arts Conservatory, the Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory. So I started off in East LA, and I lived in Chavez Ravine by Dodger Stadium, been a Dodger fan since birth, was born in Hollywood. So I guess I was destined to be in the entertainment industry in some way, shape, or form. So I started dance lessons, modeling, acting, beauty pageants. I was Miss Alhambra, Miss Chinatown Friendship, and got to wear the crown, before Glow. And then I worked in Hollywood. And because I was trying to pursue some form of involvement in the entertainment industry, I took on a job at a secretarial service. And my boss was very supportive in what I was trying to do. So it was a small business, her own personal business. So I had lots of flexibility. She knew I wanted to be in the area so I could work my job, but still go to auditions and interviews in Hollywood if they did. Well, my agent worked right across the hall from me. His name was Bob Yanez. And you know Todd Bridges from Different Strokes, right? And he's involved in wrestling. And
Yeah.
actually, his dad was Jeff Bridges, and he was a talent agent, and he was my agent's partner. So they worked right across the hall. So anytime anything came, just run across and say, "Hey, we got this going. You want to go?" And my boss was cool because she would just say, "Go ahead and go. Come back." And you could either make up the time, just not get paid for the hours, whatever I wanted to do. She was that great. And so they came over and they said, we just got this call for a TV pilot, and they're looking for all different kind of girls, shapes and sizes, ethnicity. They didn't say what it was about. They didn't say anything except that if you are athletic, it would be a plus. So I said, well, that sounds like that's right up my alley. I'm going to go check it out. And it was right at the Hyatt Hotel on Sunset. So like not even 10 minutes from my job. And so I went, and there was 1,000 girls. So we got there. We didn't know what it was for. And then you got into the big ballroom, and there was a wrestling ring right in the middle of the room. And then David McLean and Matt Simber were there, and they said, welcome all of you to a all women's wrestling league for TV. It's going to be a TV series. And, you know, a third of the girls were like, what the heck? I'm not here for no wrestling. What is this? And so a third of them got up. Yeah, third of them up and left, and they're like, I'm not breaking a nail. I'm not getting hurt. This is not what I came here for. And for me, I didn't care what it was. It was a audition or an interview, open call for a TV series. I didn't care what it was. So I said, I'm there for the duration. I will stay until they tell me to leave. And so they basically asked us, who's athletic, who can do tumbling. And I was a cheerleader from probably the age of, I don't know, 6 or 7. My brothers played Pop Warner football. So that was the first time I had experienced and being involved in cheerleading. And then I just kept following them as they got older. I switched teams when we moved around different areas. And then I was a cheerleader in elementary school, and then in high school I was a JV cheerleader and a varsity cheerleader. So I had some background in gymnastics and tumbling and stuff like that. So when they said, come on up to the ring and let's see who can, do a couple tumbles and, drop on the mat and, hit the turnbuckle and all that. So it was pretty easy for me because I had experience in different sports. I played baseball at the beginning with the boys little league. Then when softball came available, I played softball. I played basketball. I played in high school both softball and basketball, and then I played travel ball, softball until about 2005. So I had a long run with women's league softball, and then on a co-ed team, and then I also played on an all men's team in Hawaii. So that was my sports background. So I didn't know much about wrestling other than my high school buddies were collegiate, high school wrestling, not like WWE. And so I just said, you know what, I'm here. I did that. Then they came and they had each of us, it was a big thing. And they had us come around and do like just like a quick promo, cut a promo on yourself, like tell us about you. What would you do if you were, picked as one of the 12? They were looking for 12 characters that they were casting for the pilot. And so one of them was the Royal Hawaiian. So I said, well, how perfect would that be if I could get that? I've lived in Hawaii for over 25 years. I was a hula dancer because I went from flamenco dancing to hula, and then just all my background with growing up back and forth between Cali and Hawaii. I said that would just be perfect. So I basically just everything I just told you on camera, I just said, the Royal Hawaiian, this is the Royal Hawaiian, I mean, I was meant for this, and all my background, and told them I did hula and I was athletic and I was a beauty queen, and all the different things I experienced, and that I would love to, participate in this, with it being the first all women's wrestling league, that it would be for a TV show on potentially on TV if the pilot was sold. And so out of that audition of 1,000 girls, only 2 of us were selected, and that was Hollywood and myself. And then after that, then they had to go and they held other auditions, and they got the rest of the game. Matilda the Hun, Tina and Ashley, Americana, California Doll, Spanish Red, all the rest, Salt and Pepper, the rest of the 12, the other 10 of them, to come up with the 12 of us who did the pilot in 1985. And then we were all trained by the legendary Mondo Guerrero, part of the Guerrero dynasty, right? So Eddie Guerrero and Hector, and then of course Chavo's been involved in the Netflix Glow, and a lot of the other TV shows and films of today. So yeah, really fortunate that I was trained by Mondo, and it was a great experience. I knew nothing about professional wrestling other than I grew up in the Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake, and that was my era of wrestling. So that's how it started. And then, we started into season 1 after the pilot was filmed in Las Vegas at the Riviera Hotel. Americana and I became the trainers for the show. So season 1, we ended up hiring all the girls that were going to be featured in the first season, and then we trained them at the Riviera Hotel. So that's where we lived for the duration of that time. And so season 1 and 2, we lived at the hotel at the Riviera, and then season 3 and 4, they moved them off site to 2 different, a good girls home and a bad girls home, and then the show was moved also to a warehouse arena off the strip. So that's pretty much the gist of it.
Then there was also a downfall with Glow that happened after season 4.
Well, in season 4, it just came to an abrupt halt. So we had season 1 and 2. And then after season 2, David McLean left the show, and he went and he took, and I left after 1 part into part 2. And then David left, and he took most of the girls, or a good amount of the girls, and he went and started POW. And that didn't last long. I'm not sure exactly how long it lasted, but then he went out and he started WOW, Women of Wrestling. And that's what's on today. So people think that today WOW is new. They don't realize that WOW has been around for like 20 years. It's just that they've been just new to mainstream TV, where they're on, like it's on KCAL 9 today. So Saturdays and Sundays, 11 o'clock on Saturdays, midnight on Sundays.
Yeah, 11
And then
o'clock every Saturday live on your local cable channel.
Right, and then the replay is on Sunday, and then prior to that is when they were on the cable on Access TV. So prior to just they're going on the 3rd season, but the last 2 seasons prior to that, WOW was here. It just wasn't on the regular channels on TV. It was on cable. So it's been around for a long time. And so after season 2, we lost so many girls. So, excuse me. So at the end of the show, they had a tag on the end that went across the screen, and it said, do you have what it takes to be a Glow Girl? Send your resume and pictures in, and maybe you'll be a future Glow Girl. So a lot of the season 3 and 4 girls, that's how they were added to the show in those seasons, is they went through an audition and they were fans of the show, and then they became Glow Girls. And so that's
And
how that.
I have a
What's
question from Trevor Wolf. He wants to know how many championships have you had held in Glow?
that's a good question, and I don't know because um, even back when I didn't even, I guess to tell you, our show was not broadcast in Las Vegas. So while we were filming it live and it was sold throughout the country, they didn't pick it up in Vegas on purpose. And they did that because they didn't want us to know how popular the show was, how well we were doing. They didn't want us to get big heads because it was season 1. We didn't know what we were doing. Nobody told David McLean how to start this league and how we were to do. So they didn't want us to know. They didn't give us our fan mail. We had tons of fan mail. They never gave us the fan mail. So they didn't want us to know, but why? It got popular. And now that it was popular, what do you think they were afraid of? They were afraid of us asking for more money because it was like at the top, right? The ratings were through the roof and we were doing well and all that. They didn't show it there. So, okay, April, what was your point? Besides it not being, what was your question? Tell me what your question was. See, I get off on a tangent and I forget. What did you ask me?
So pretty much they were asking how many championships have you held in
Okay. Okay.
Glow?
So, so being that we didn't get to see ourselves as the show was going on, we didn't really pay attention to all the statistics and like you're asking, what was my record and all that. I didn't even know there was such a thing, but you can go on Google. You can Google Glow spread like Glow records or match, it's a spreadsheet on online that says who held the crown from what day to what day. And I didn't know until a fan told me, did you know that you held the crown the longest? And I'm like, no. I said, well, how would you know that? Did you watch every episode? And they're like, no, there's a spreadsheet on the internet online, you could see it. And so I guess I held the crown the longest. And then not until Daisy, who is my buddy. Daisy was my first season 2 and 3 girl that befriended me. And we were at the CAC convention in Las Vegas when we were awarded the first women's wrestling league. She came up to me and introduced herself, and she was my first friend in Glow from season 2 and 3 because I didn't know the 2 and 3 girls because I didn't work with them. So Daisy was I believe she held the crown longer than me, and she was the final champ. So she was the last one. So I couldn't tell you how many times I won the crown, but I had it, and I know I wrestled Americana I think 3 championship matches to win it, lose it, win it back, and all that. So, but to give you the numbers, I don't know. I guess I maybe should print that spreadsheet, and that way I have all the stuff at my fingertips. And when people ask that, we can kind of look. I should probably look back at it and see
Yeah,
what.
pretty much go back into time.
Yeah, because I never really have, but I've been asked that a few times, and I don't know how to answer it other than I was the longest crown holder until Daisy, who was at the end of. So I was at the beginning of the show, and then she was at the end of the show. And so in between it, just the crown, hopped around, whatever. But so I had it the longest, and then she beat me out, and I have no idea. I don't know if she had one more match, 2 more matches, or what, but she was the last Glow champion before they abruptly, to answer your question, the show to abruptly.
And
So
this one, this is from the boy guy. He said we'll be having Hector Guerrero in July on his show.
yeah, that's cool. So Hector will be on. So you guys want to check out the Bald Guy show. So I will post his links and notices when he does that, because those are shows you want to watch. Okay, so he's going to have Hector on. We're going to try and work to see if we can get Mondo on. So Mondo was my trainer. He's who trained all the original, the 12 that did the pilot series. Mondo Guerrero was our trainer. So we're going to try and see if we can work that out to try and get him on the Bald Guy show as well, because JC's been, he's a Glow fan, and he knew more about Glow than I did. So it's
Yeah,
always
he
fun.
even said that he hold the crown for 120 days.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, I don't know. I have no
But
idea, but yeah.
his little history.
Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, so tune in, you guys. So if you haven't seen the first interview, I did one interview already with JC, and then the other one is going to be out tomorrow. So check that out. But lots of fun, and the guy knows his wrestling, and he knows his Glow, so it's always fun to do this, shows, and they know much more about stuff that I do. I learn something with every show I do, or every interview, or even at an event or whatever. Someone comes up and tells a new story, so it's really cool. And people ask, why do I still do it? And that's why I do it, because I know the fans love it. JC said, he appreciates, just being able to jump back down the rabbit hole, and talk about stories, and I learned something. So that's exciting for me when a fan comes up and tells me what is their little story to contribute to Glow, or to share about Glow, and what it was like. Because right now, anyone from 40 to like 55 years of age were watching us live when it was on in the 80s. So it's cool for them, because they were teenagers at the time, and it was just so new. And wrestling today is not like what it was back then. And so a lot of people do tell us they love to go back in time, because they like the wrestling from yesteryears, and all that, which is cool. So, yeah. So anyway, going back to your question, season 4 abruptly ended. So the girls didn't get any kind of notice. They showed up at the arena, and there was just a sign on the door that said canceled, show canceled. Now, whether what was that canceled for just today, or canceled forever completely, and I was not around. So a lot of the information is information that I've gotten from season 3 and 4 girls, or interviews I've shared with other Glow girls from season 3 and 4, and then just talking about the things that have gone on since, which is what we call, or what Roxy has coined as afterglow. So that's what she came up with. Started a lot of the beginning um, shows, like the fan. I forget what she called it. I forget what it's called, guys. It was the fan show where it was like a Q&A, and a lot of the girls, I wasn't there, I was living in Hawaii at the time, but anyway, she did that. She did the play. And so we use anything afterglow, after what, 99 into 2000 is when, I'm not exactly sure when she coined it, and it's trademarked as afterglow. So we refer to anything that's taken place afterglow, it's afterglow. So what had happened is, um, in the course of season 3 and 4, in there somewhere, I guess later in the show, or I'm not even sure when it started, but a lot of people don't know the story and haven't heard. But Babe the Farmer's Daughter, who was Ursula Hayden, she actually was having an affair with Rickless, who was the owner of the Riviera Hotel, husband to Pia Zadora, best friend to Matt Simber, our director. And that was the connection on how we were able to get the location in Las Vegas at the Riviera Hotel to host our show, and housed all the Glow girls from season 1 and 2. And so she was having an affair, and I don't know all the details, but apparently she went to him and said, "You give me the name Glow, or I go to the media and I go to your wife." So he gave that to her, or by way of telling Matt Simber, canceled the show. So they just pulled the plug. Now, the bummer of it is, all our Glow fans got gypped, all the girls got gypped, when instead of doing that, here we are, hindsight, the show was at the top. It was hot. It was, I mean, competitive with WWE, if not more, because
It was
Vince
at their top peak, basically.
yeah. And Vince hated us, so he always used to tell all the guys, don't be talking to those Glow girls. So anyway, I would have, if it were me, I would have sold the damn thing. You want to get rid of it? Okay, eliminate Rickless, if that's the problem. And even though that's where the money, because he was the backer for the show, I would have sold it. I mean, you can't tell me there wouldn't have been somebody in 1999 that wouldn't have bought a hot show like Glow at the peak of Glow. I'm sure he could have sold it, or Matt, or whoever, whatever the technical, details were. I'm sure they could have sold that and someone would have bought it. And we could imagine if we had Glow all these years, what that would have been like, right? We always talk about that too. Wonder what it would have been like if Glow would have been another 10 years, or, who knows? Like, look at WoW. David McLean started WoW back then, and here it is 20 years later in 2024, and it's still going. So it's a bummer to think that we got cut short because of that reason. That's what was the breakup of, and we didn't know that for years. So like, we started when social media came about, is when it was kind of like a rebirth. The fans were able to actually communicate with us. So we had Facebook, or what, we had the early one. What was the other one called before Facebook? MySpace. I always forget that because I never did that. But that was in my son's era, right? They were in Facebook, and what's the one? Snapchat. Never did either one of those. But once we had social media, that was the way for fans to get back connected to us. And so we did. We started on Facebook, and then we started building our, Pineapple Nation, right? Has been around for, I don't know how many years, like over 10, 15, almost 20 years. Maybe not 20, maybe 15. And so when we started to do events and we were going out, we still didn't know. None of the girls knew Ursula knew what was going on, but that wasn't shared with anybody. When we got the award from CAC for the first all women's wrestling league, that we did a panel. So it was Matt Simber, Tony Simber, and then there was about, I want to say 22 of us, 25 of us. Sunny, the California girl, is the one that organized that. So she was able to get about 20-ish, 25 of us to go to actually receive the award and then be present. And so at the Q&A, a fan did ask, so why did the show abruptly end? And they didn't answer it then. And that was, I want to say, I don't know, 2016, 2017. And prior to that, we were traveling the country. Those that wanted to, participate in going to do signings and Comic-Cons and independent wrestling and stuff like that around the country. We were doing that, but we never knew. We didn't have a reason why. We didn't know why the show was canceled. It was just canceled, And so then we did the documentary. We did the event with, Fiji. We had the special luncheon for Fiji. And then we still didn't know then. And then I think it was like before the pandemic, because I remember we went on our Glow cruise in 2019, and we still didn't know then. And then I think that's after that is when it kind of started, buzzing, and, people were talking about what had happened, and then it came up, but nobody really said anything. And then unfortunately, Babe passed away last year in December. And not that anybody held back, because they were waiting that, for, I guess, a right time, if there ever was a right time. But so then it came out that, that's what happened. And Ursula is the one who had the rights to the name. So Matt Simber and Tony Simber still have possession, and everything to do with the films and anything to do with the show Glow, as far as footage and all of that. She owned the name. So then when we did the documentary and the luncheon for Fiji, that documentary was done, and that was done with the help direction of Little Egypt and Brad and the film crew that did the documentary. They actually didn't include anything, and I don't know if it was known at that point or not, but I was there at the luncheon. I was not interviewed for the documentary. They couldn't find me at the beginning. I think I was still in Hawaii at the time. But so it was a great, get together with, I don't know, I think there was at least maybe 40, 45 of us maybe. And so after that documentary was done, which, everybody loved it. It was an award-winning documentary. And when Netflix saw our documentary, then they said, hey, we need to make a show about those girls. So that's when they went to Ursula, because Ursula owned the name Glow. So she actually leased and is the only one that made any money from the show. Like everybody today always says, "Oh, that's so awesome that you get royalties from the Netflix show," and blah, 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 blah. And we're like, no, we don't. No other girl got a cent. Nobody but Ursula. So along the way, all this time she's had the name Glow and the basically power, to do whatever she wanted with it. But I know that at one point she tried to do a part two Glow and it didn't work. There were a couple other projects in between. We did try and work with Matt Simber and a group of us Glow girls that we were trying to do. It was, I believe, if I remember correctly, a show. They were going to name it Femme Fatale, I think, something like that. And that was with Matt, but that didn't come to reality either. And then I understand that they tried again and tried to do something with Glow again and came up with other new characters. And Lightning was like the trainer for that. MTV was like the writer, and Matt was involved as the director. But then again, that didn't go anywhere either. But Ursula had this name. She could have had merch, right? We could have had tons of Glow merch, toys, t-shirts, memorabilia, whatever. Nothing, figurines, nothing was done. And then when she was approached by Netflix, she was gung ho for that because she leased it. She leased it for 2 years, made millions. No other girl was consulted. So Americana and I were the trainers from day one for the show. The original girls that were in the pilot, none of us were asked to consult, like, could we ask you your opinions, or could you tell us, like, just what I told you, the story of how it started from day one. I was there from day one. Hollywood and I were the two picked from that. And then the other 10 were added. Did Netflix or Ursula include anybody? No. Nobody got. If it were me, I would have said, okay, Netflix, I want my millions. I also want 30 cameos for all my Glow Girl sisters. I don't care. They could be a waitress, a casino hand, a a wrestler, a referee, whatever. But just give some girls for the fans to see that. There were some of the original Glow girls in the Netflix show. Nothing happened. Nothing came about. Nobody made any money but her. Then when it was a success, they wanted to do an extension and they wanted more time. So Ursula leased 2 more years to them. But then now we're in the middle of COVID. So they taped the third season, and the girls, everybody got paid. It was a contract. So the money was, put out and everything. But then COVID shut down because with the 6 foot distancing and all that, how are you going to tape a show when it's contact sport, right? And then the cast was so large. It wasn't like it was a sitcom with 5 different actors. This was 20 something girls. So they shut it down. And so it's ironic that it ended kind of the same way the original Glow ended, where it was just shut down. But we know that it was shut down because of COVID. And then, so here we are. And, the fans were upset. A lot of them went on petition rampage with petition writing to Netflix. Please bring it back. Could you do a 2 hour just a movie to end it, like give us some closure instead of leaving us hanging, kind of how original Glow was. And so that's kind of where we're at, and we just are trying to connect. So right now, a couple of the projects that I'm working on is I am trying to finish my DVD, which was supposed to be done last year. And unfortunately, I've been sick for the last 6 months, off and on. Nothing major serious, but enough to put me down. And the person I had working with me didn't work out. So I'm now working on finishing that. In addition to, we're looking at doing the second documentary that I've been talking about all this time. So it's actually now being talked about more in really setting some, ground breaking stuff going on and ideas and other things, along with the comic book and some other stuff that's kind of fun and exciting and looking forward to, because I know the fans are looking for Glow. And so that's why, like, Roxy's got the Matilda the Hun. That's another event. She's always got some stuff going on and things like that. So we're trying to do that. So I would just, say to everybody, just stay tuned. Keep your eyes and ears open, like I said. But is there anything else you wanted to ask me in
Oh
that?
yeah. So this question is from the ball guy. He said, "What is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?"
So I would say so. So he said for both of us. Now,
Yeah.
are we going, are we going just professional wrestling or just anything? Like, can I like glow girls or just in general? Because my Mount Rushmore for just like big time WWE type, I would say everybody knows Bianca Belair is my favorite, along with my boyfriend Drew McIntyre. And then I would have to say, um, with that, if I'm staying with W, of course I got to add Nikita Lyons in there because she's my girl. Been, watching and following her and doing all that. I think it's funny that back when she was beginning of WoW and she was all excited to take pictures with me. I have pictures of her wanting to photograph with me, and now here it is me wanting to be photographed with her because she's the big star. So I would say Nikita, and then if I look at another guy wrestler, let me do two and two. I would say, that's a tough one. I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. Am I saying that right? Roman Reigns. I'm not a fan
Oh,
of
so we didn't know the tribal chief.
Seth Rollins. I would say, we just came back because The Rock is like my favorite. So I would say Drew McIntyre, The Rock, Bianca Belair, and gotta put in my girl Nikita Lyons. So that would be mine. What about you? What would yours be?
Mine will be my Mount Rushmore. I would say Rey Mysterio
Good choice.
because a lot of people said due to his short size, he would never become a world champion in WWE.
Well,
And in 2006, he made history.
and it's amazing because he is so. I felt like a giant standing next to him when we were at CAC. I think he came to like right here. I felt like I was just like like a big giant monster next to him because he was so little, but very cool. And hell, 619 is just. I just see the girls when they do that today, and I just love it. I think it's a
Yeah,
good
Delilah
choice.
Newman is the 619 now as a tribute to Ray.
Yep.
My second person to be on my Mount Rushmore is Bray Wyatt.
Okay. And
Rest in peace, your soul.
he just
And
had
the
a
reason
birthday.
why I like Bray Wyatt, he went from a jobby guy, Husky Harris, to the Bray Wyatt we know now to the Fiend. His mind was very creative. He knew how to do the gimmick. He knew how to build storyline. He knew how to take the younger talent to the next level.
Yeah.
What I always found very interesting about him.
And rest in peace and happy heavenly birthday. He just had a birthday.
Oh yeah, and I know he's up there with his former partner, Luke Harper.
Mm. So sad. Way too young. Gone too soon.
Yeah, two great guys.
Yeah. Okay, so that's two. And who's your third one?
When it comes to females, I know a lot of people probably going to say, why her? I always loved Lita,
Oh well,
Amy
heck,
Dunn,
she's
for
a
her
superstar.
pushing herself always to the limit that other females wouldn't do at the time.
Yep. Cool.
Said, hey, guy can do this. female can do this as well.
I met, well, I had already met Lita, but Lita and Trish I met in the ladies' room at um WrestleCon last year here in LA. So I got pictures of us in the bathroom in the mirror, and when I posted it, I put the song "Meeting in the Ladies' Room." It was very cool. They're both cool. They were so nice to meet. Okay, you got one more.
One more. And okay, and this is gonna be another female. She is always, how to say it. She knew how to tell a story when angles had to be changed, and that is Mickey Jane.
Oh, yes, I love her too.
And I'm happy I actually got to meet Mickey Jane at a TNA taping.
We saw her last year. Juan and I saw her last year in February in Vegas for their 2 days of Access TV and their Impact pay-per-view. So yeah, very cool. Good choices. Good choices. Um,
And
I would,
if I had to pick another person,
yeah.
I would say Victoria as well.
Well, that was what I was going to tell you.
They
I,
what
I go between I
Frank
go
said.
between Victoria and Nikita. If I did it again, or a second round, I'd say Victoria because Victoria and I are both IE girls. So she was born and raised in the Inland Empire, but I lived in the Inland Empire for a long time and worked in Moreno Valley. But so I would say Victoria, and then I would add in Tony Storm. I just am nuts about Tony
I
Storm.
like Tony Thorne.
She looks fabulous. I always say whoever does her makeup and hair and gear is like needing a raise. Um, and then I would say um, couple other. I would throw in some indie girls just for a couple of the indie girls that I work with a lot and I get to see a lot and not Mount Rushmore for being four girls, but Zyra is an amazing wrestler. Delilah
Oh
Doom
yeah.
and God, I just flashed the other one that I was just thinking. Oh, my girl J Rod.
Yeah, J Rod. Yeah, J
J
Rod.
Rod is the ultimate athlete, but like I tell her every time I see her, if I could buy something, I'd buy your buns of steel. So I think she's
Another
got
person I will say.
Prankster and I always talk about it because she's just got like the perfect body. Like she is so fit. She looks amazing from her abs to her biceps to her legs to her booty. She's just fabulous. The whole package, the
He's
face,
the perfect canvas.
and yeah, she's one of my favorites as far as getting like I hope she can I think sometime soon is she's gonna move up and then she's gonna be in my top Rushmore, Mount Rushmore for WWE, NXT, Impact, AEW, somewhere up there. She's gonna take Tony Storm's spot. I'll just say it like that. That I think she's ready to go now. But those are a couple of the ones that I just when I go to the shows, they're freaking amazing. Like Delilah Doom, she's so small, but she freaking wrestles
And
the guy
she's rocking the 80s.
gives it out, and she just gives it right back. She's amazing. So I like to take my pulse with her. So I'll be posting pictures, just so you know. I have not posted pictures since Mother's Day weekend. Why are you laughing? Because I'm doing my pulse? It's the cutest picture. We're both doing the pulse. It's crazy. But I haven't posted, you guys. So you're probably thinking, what the heck? But I just have been so busy. I have not been able to post. So I apologize for being delayed. I'm gonna take after one of my buddies, Mark Buckingham, because he never posts in real time. So I'm practicing your gimmick, Mark, that that my pictures are not real because I try to do it right away because then the fans get who can't come to these events, right? They get to see the pictures. But right now I'm like a week plus behind. So my pictures from my aunt's 80th birthday, Mother's Day, and all from back then till now. So Sunday, I think I have some time. I'm gonna try and do some later today. I'm not gonna get to all of it, but I will post some. And then Sunday I'll post some more because I got some great stuff. But just fabulous shows. These guys are just incredible. I got to see Sexy Star on Saturday, right? We were at Future
Oh
of Women
yeah,
Wrestling.
yeah,
Manny brought out a
yeah.
great show.
Future woman wrestler.
Oh, it was an amazing show. Every match was awesome. And
It
so
was a
the
banger after a banger after banger.
yeah, it was crazy. Just one after another, and freaking Savannah Savvy. Oh God, she was just amazing. She had the match with Delilah Doom, and the two of them, boy, man, she brought back memories for me. I was like, oh my God, I feel like that's what I used to do because I was
And
so
yeah, some of the matches I was literally at the edge of my seat.
yeah, that's it was like that. Everybody was just going, and then Sexy Star, my buddies in Oklahoma, they know that's one of their favorite wrestlers from CMLL and AAA, and so we always, have a little debate going on about. Everybody thinks that Sky Blue is the best thing since sliced bread, and I don't. But you put Sexy Star or those, there's a couple others in Mexico, but Sexy Star, hands down, talk about a body, talk about a wrestling, her style, she was just amazing, absolutely amazing on that Saturday against Zyra. And Zyra freaking kicked ass. And the two of them were just one after another, and it was like you say, everybody was sitting on the edge of their seat, and so it was amazing. That was a great show. And then that was the first women's show this past weekend. And then Wednesday night, we had Santino Sisters, the first ever all women's show. And that was another one. So going to see all those girls there was amazing. Again, Delilah Doom was there, and we had um, Lois Grain, we had Ruby Reyes and Auntie Heidi, and
Savannah Stone.
Savannah, yeah, all of them. Savannah Stone was there again. So all of these ladies. So if you guys don't come out to see and check out some indie wrestling, you need to start because these girls need some support, and there's not enough. Like I'm always at whatever venue, whatever show, whatever promotion. If you don't got a ladies match in, you got something wrong, because there's enough girls here in Southern Cal, Vegas, Phoenix, Arizona, whatever, that you should have no reason to not have at least one, if not at least two, in your show. So I'm always for promoting and supporting the ladies because they're amazing. So you need to, I've seen some of these girls that have been wrestling and from 2 years ago, how they've improved and what they've done. And just to let you guys know, we had for the first time at Santino's Sisters, Miss Joyce was reffing and did an amazing job, Joyce. I was so proud of you. She was in the right place. She was all over. You would have never known it was her first time reffing. And I guess Charlie has been instrumental in helping her learn as well as all her training at Santino Brothers. So good job, Joyce. Another great women's show, you guys. So you missed it. I'll try and post some of that. But kudos. Way
Yeah.
girls.
Give her a round of applause.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And like one of the people I actually knew in high school. Now she's up in WWE. Candice LeRae.
Really?
I actually knew Candice in high school.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
And she went to School of Hard Knock with Jesse Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Then a few later after she left, I found out she was making her NXT debut.
Okay, so here, Bald Guy, he's giving us real good ladies. So he's got Fabulous Moolah, Sherry Martel, Charlotte Flair. Yes, those are all greats. You have one of my other friends likes Lonnie Kai. But yeah, lots. China, so there's lots, right? It's just that there wasn't a lot of exposure back in the day. You still know of them. And actually Charlotte is one I don't care too much for. I always forget her name because she's not one.
It's like,
Um
yeah, it's like women had to fight
tell,
to
tell
get
me,
to get put on a card.
what's Roman Reigns' wife? What's her name? She got a mental block because I just don't. um what's her name? Come on, help me, redhead. Roman, I mean not Roman. Seth Rollins' wife.
Oh, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. I'm not a Becky Lynch fan. I'm not a Bailey fan. But um Sam, my buddy Sam's girl was Rhea Ripley, and I like Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair
There's
jumping off the
one, there's
which
one
one?
female. I cannot stand her. I cannot stand her style.
Who's that?
Even though she comes from a legendary wrestling family,
Yeah.
is Natalie Neidhart.
Well,
Natalia.
I Natalia. Well, I like her. She's okay. I just have my favorites, but I shouldn't say I don't like. I just don't care. They're great wrestlers. I just don't care for them. Um, the other one I was just gonna say, you did a flash for me, and I can't think of who it was. You just said Natalia.
Her
Who was
style
it?
really didn't really fit with me.
I don't know. There's so many, you guys. If I had to go through the women, but again, oh, this was the thing that I just read on something is they're comparing the Tonga twins to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Love the Tonga twins, but I don't think they're in the same caliber of wrestling at this point in time. But maybe another day. So we'll see. But
Yeah.
there's all that, and as a matter of fact, they're going to come out and do an interview tonight at 6 o'clock. So tune into that if you guys are following any of that. All the latest on that with WoW and the Tonga twins that's coming out. But I just think a mean women's match would be tag team Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair against, like, maybe, I don't know. Someone asked me that the other day. Who would you put up against those two? And I said, you know what? I would do like maybe Oscar and I don't know, someone else to go with her.
You know, I would love to see come back AJ Lee
Oh, I don't know that she would, but
or
she
Melina.
was with WoW for a long time, and now I don't know. I don't know if she would come back, but and Melina, she's with UWW. Great wrestler. I mean, yeah, maybe a Victoria and Melina and some of the the TNA girls or the WWF girls. Um, who knows? I'm always for bringing some of the veteran female wrestlers that maybe are still in you know wrestling shape and can, but it's, I mean, we're up there. We're in our 60s now, so it's like this.
Yeah.
We're not spring chickens anymore. At least I'm not. I could never. I know there's some that are still in great shape that could do it, but everybody's taking their retirement and hung up their wrestling boots and what have you. But
Or even have them on have Beth Phoenix.
what's that?
Have Beth Phoenix. It's Adam Edge's wife.
Yeah. Well, you
But
never know.
I don't know about her because she currently signed to AEW.
Uh-huh. Well, there's so much that could happen. So, all we can do is wait and see, all the movement. And when someone leaves one promotion and goes somewhere else, kind of just have to wait and see. But um, how much time do we have? Oh, here, let me see. I don't know what this one
Oh yeah,
says.
we still have plenty of time. Okay, here's a big question from the ball guy. He said, "April, what are your thoughts on Mula's mistreatment or abuse of the other lady?"
You know what? No one's ever asked that, but I think it's pretty bad and sad. And um, I know that it happened. I don't know all the details, but I think it's pretty crappy that, here's someone who paved the way and who was one of the originals, right? Back in the day, got her and Penny Denters and all the all the famous older women wrestlers prior to us. But you know what? I'm not for any kind of mistreatment, abuse, bullying, all of that. I know back in the day there was lots of it, but it was never brought out. We had it in our days in Glow. People ask, well, what was going on during your time? And they say, you know what? Um, we had it. And when I started with Glow, first day I got in Vegas, I told David McLean and Matt Simber, I said, you know what? I'm here to do a good job. I said, I'll give you 150%. I said, just don't think that there's any kind of casting couch that you think you're going to get me to, because I'm not going to your room. I'm not going to the penthouse. Unless all the rest of the Glow Girls are following behind me, there's no such thing in my book. So don't ask. Nipped it in the bud, never had a problem. But then guess what? I told them, I'll do as much as I can to help make the show a success. So what did they do? They said, well, can you handle a second character? Yeah, I can. I said, what do you got in mind? Well, and I don't know, a lot of fans don't know that I played a second character. And even some of the Glow Girls don't even know I played the second character. And girls from season 3 and 4 didn't even know I was the original Sarah from the Sarah Mabel Hillbilly tag team, because they were popular enough that after I left and after Nadine, who was Ashley Cartier, so she played a second character, they continued with Sarah and Mabel 2 and 3 and 4 times over, that they just kept bringing different girls in. So I did that. And then I was a trainer, right? I was part of the production staff. So my day was not easy. I didn't just do one rehearsal and one workout session and whatever, and I got to go sit by the pool. That wasn't my life, unfortunately, during Glow. I had a full schedule all day long. 2 o'clock in the morning sitting in Katie's kitchen and working with Matt and Americana and David and the writers, Steve Lance, and everybody else, the crew, whatever. So I know that stuff had gone on. So yes, when I learned of the background of Mula, of course it's not. And I respect the fact that she was one of the trailblazers, right? She was one of the main female wrestlers back in the day. But when you see all of what took place and what happened, I don't care if it's a woman abusing a woman, a man abusing a woman, or vice versa, or whatever. None of it's good, but it all was all kept under wraps, even with us, because there were girls who decided to do what they thought was going to get them more screen time. There were girls who were doing what they thought would get them further and what have you. But um, I'm not for any of it. I mean, I do advocate for suicide prevention, because in wrestling we have a high rate of suicide. I also now
Oh yeah.
I also have been on on Tim's. He does a show. Tim Flynn is bullying. He has a bullying podcast, and I went on his show, and so we're kind of trying to, work together and trying to promote no bullying. And I advocate for suicide prevention, whether it's teens and adults and what have you. But all of that, so Mula had a bad rap. That's, unfortunately, you can be a good wrestler, but if you end up having, you know, some inappropriate stuff you did, that's also going to come back and bite you. And unfortunately, that's what's going to always be talked about, because it's part of the past. You can't change the past. So, it is what it is, and it happened, but not good. My opinion of it is it's crappy, whether it's a woman or a male promoter or co-worker or whatever it is. It's just not all good. I don't think in the movie industry we've had that for years. And now there's the things that have been, the movie that came out about, what's his name, Weinstein, or whatever the hell his name was, the guy who was always propositioning the actresses and stuff like that. I don't care what industry it is, it's just not good. So um but I don't know, I probably should read a little bit more and see more of the details. But yeah, it is what it is, and not fond of hearing all of that kind of stuff, but I know it happens. So thanks for the question, Mr. Bald Man, bald guy. What else is the same? Dynamite Kid is the same, and that I don't know about, so I haven't heard that. But there's so many stories, and you hear about all the things that were done in the past. People ask a lot about China. What do you think about that? Or if you've not seen Kurt Engle's story, a documentary, fabulous story about him. And if you guys saw the Iron Claw, awesome movie, right? And just all the things that have happened through the course of, you know, how many decades of history of wrestling, and what families went through and what it was like. If you never saw 300 and what is it called? The movie 330, what is it called? 331 days, 300 and do you know what movie I'm talking about? 331 days movie. And if you haven't, I went to the red carpet for this one, and
Oh, okay.
great movie, wrestling movie, talking about back in the day, all the old timers when they took to the road and what it was like to be a wrestler on the road. You got to check out those movies and really see what went on back in the day and stuff, because it was a tough, still is. Look at us and all the shows we do in the indie wrestlers. Sometimes those wrestlers don't even get paid. It's a rough life to be a professional wrestler on the road, and your family gets neglected and everything else. You had a
Yeah,
baby.
you missed my birthday, wedding,
Did she told
funeral.
that they kept Chris Funner out of the? Yes, they did. So they did the movie.
The
Chavo Guerrero.
Iron Claw.
Yeah, Iron Claw. Chavo Guerrero was the stunt coordinator for that movie, but they did. So people don't even know the story that not all the brothers were included in the movie, because they said that it got so emotional and they had so many deaths that they left Chris's story out of the movie. And so, you think, gosh, that
So the
family,
curse of the family.
yeah, it was just what a curse, and just all of it. It was so sad, but such a movie that really needed to be made and told and stuff. So you just have, you've got a lot of history in the wrestling industry, good, bad, and indifferent, and what have you. But yeah, it is what it is. We kind of just have to bounce back up and move on. So hopefully, I can get this second documentary going. I am trying to work on my own autobiography, and I kind of don't want to do it in a book form. I wanted to do it in a docu form, but I don't know. Got a lot going on, so we'll see. But you got to take the good with the bad, and just stay on top of things, stay positive, hopefully pray that things just work out. But thanks for all your questions, Mr. Bald Guy. You got some good stuff again. I
Good
appreciate.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Um, so anyway, so should I give you just a little blurb of where I'm going to be?
That's what
Last
is
minute.
your schedule like for that upcoming month or week?
Okay, so tomorrow we already talked about being at in Corona with 3PWA. Oh, you got the flyer there, and it's on my pages and my stories. So Tony Reyes, D'Lo Brown, Vito Vitelli, Lois Grain, I believe it's Scarlett. So check it out. That's this weekend. So the show's at 6:30, but if you want to come out earlier in the day, there's going to be that open market fair. We'll be out there set up. I'll have a merch table out signing autographs and taking pictures and all that good stuff. And then on May 30th, we're gonna mention this, but we don't have all the details. Is Thursday, May 30th is CCW, Crimson Crown Wrestling. And that one is going to be featuring, well, our buddy Robbie Phoenix will be wrestling there. And that one's local here by me in Baldwin Park. So we might go there, or I might go there. Skulls will
I'll be
probably
there
be there. Skulls will be there. Whether I'm going
for sure.
to, we don't know, but we're still promoting because Robbie is going to be in that show, and it's close to home for me, so I may be there. And then just to give you next month, so starting June 7th, 8th, and 9th, we will be down in Lake Elsinore with Mr. James from Valley Wrestling Connection. and that's going to be at the Lake Elsinore Outlet Centers. And he's going to have 3 days of wrestling, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I believe Sunday or Saturday on one of the shows is going to be an all women show. At least I think. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten the flyer, but I will post that with all the details. And then June, just for June, I believe this is Saturday, June 15th, with WAW. That's Wild Action Wrestling at Stanton. It's right off there, off the 91 and Beach Boulevard, I believe. So I'll be there doing a meet and greet. So that's off of Catella. And then June 20th is Santino Brothers, Thursday, June 20th, Santino Brothers Fight Night 13. So of course the Santino Brothers, top notch. Fabulous show every time. Sold out
Especially with Joey Chaos.
Oh, Joey Kaz and Sylvia Mando, they know how to put on a show. Wednesday nights, first women's show, the line was wrapped around the building, not a seat to be had. They were bringing more chairs out. And so always a great, great show. So that's on June 20th, Fright Night 13 in Azusa. So again, right here by my house. And then June 30th is a Sunday. And this is going to be with Manny Pinson and the United Wrestling Council. That one, I believe Robbie Phoenix will be there. I think AJ's there. I'm not sure the whole card yet, but you'll see the promos coming out and I'll be posting. I'll be there. That's going to be at the Metroplex in Hawaiian Gardens. And I believe it's a 2 or a 3 p.m. show. I can't remember. And that's pretty much what's coming up for the next month. I will do a calendar because I do have some stuff coming up July. The one thing that I am going to be doing is I'm going out of town on August 3rd to go up to Washington, state of Washington. And that would be with Inclusive Pro Wrestling with Nathan Nas and Anthony Wagner up in the state of Washington in Longview, Washington. It's a Special Olympics sponsored event for wrestling. And so I will be there on the 3rd, a one-day show. And then after that, we got CAC coming up in August. And then in September, I'm going to be going back to Vegas with Scott Hosey, and he's got the Power Play Sports Collectibles, and he's going to be doing a show at the Tuscany Suites and Casino. So I'll be there for sure, and I'm trying to recruit a few Glow Girls. Looks like Nanuchka's in, you guys. Nothing concrete yet, but she did say yes. I just talked to Palestina the other day. Got some trying to get a few more, trying to get Susie Spirit, maybe California Doll, see if Roxy's going to come up. We'll see. So I'll keep you posted on that, but that's kind of what's in the works. So busy, busy, busy. So, and along with all the podcasts. So I'm just trying to stay afloat, and thank you all for your love and support and everything else, but that's what's going on. And again, get the new shirt. Thanks, Frankster Rules. And if you guys are needing any kind of graphics or wrestling logos and such, check him out on Frankster Rules and tell him the Royal Hawaiian sent you and you can get a discount. Well, that's always a good.
And if you don't buy Hawaiian merch, you're gonna get Hawaiian crush.
Yes, so we will be working on that, guys, for you. So trying
So
to get
make sure you support Royal Hawaiian and her merch.
Thank you, Skulls. Yes, I need
Unless
that.
you want to get Hawaiian crush.
Yes. So we will see you guys. If you guys can come out tomorrow, that'd be great. Love to see you all. And we can do this again another time, Skulls. Good show. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on.
Okay, and I will see you mañana.
Hopefully I can bring you back in soon, too, as well.
You can do what?
I hope I can bring you back pretty soon.
Yes, we will do that just to keep updated on what's going on. So everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Check out Skulls regularly, and I will see you on another day.
And if you guys have not subscribed to April, do so on Facebook, Instagram. I believe she had a Twitter account.
Twitter. I'm on all those. I mostly do Instagram and Facebook, but I have Twitter, Thread, TikTok, all of that. I need to just start using them more, you guys. But because I just haven't, my priority right now is the gym and working out and getting healthy. So It's helping. It's working. I just been so busy. Even at that, like this week, I didn't even get to working on posting things. I know I post, when I'm usually on the bike or in the pool and stuff, but I've been trying to work out, and I have not to be too, but I have someone at the gym that just watches. Not a total stalker yet, but that's an issue. And like I told you guys the other day on one of my lives, is I send me a message on what is your favorite pickup line. Like, what do you do? I'm just wondering. Here we are in 2024, and I'm so happy seeing you guys that it's like I want to know, what is it that you do to meet a girl, a woman today that you see, I don't know, on the street, in the mall, at a gym, or whatever. Because boy, am I experiencing some crazy stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I need to put a thing together that says what it is. So anyway, okay. So
It's like the one I said. My
yeah.
phone ain't ringing because your number ain't in it.
What? I'm busy. Please go away. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. I gotta go. I've had a flood in my house. We have plumbers and people all over. So hold on one moment. So
All
I
right.
will,
Thank you, April, for coming on.
guys. I
Make
apologize.
sure you guys show up to Corona.
Yes, come on out tomorrow, you guys, and I will see you guys then. Thanks, girls. I'll talk to you later. Everybody have a great Aloha Friday and a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.